Welcome to Revlog, where today Pastor Scott is going to teach us all about interest rates. You ready? Where's the interest rate today?
You have your charts with you?
Today's word is prime.
Yeah, there we go. I'm going to trust that Scott's going to fill us in on
absolutely
what it means to take out a loan and what that's going to be. Today, as we come to Nehemiah 5, there is this teaching and context of usury or lending money at exorbitant interest rates. And it is interesting. I mean, you see this concept throughout the Old Testament where the Lord regularly condemns high interest rates. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say, I talk with bankers and visit with folks that people have different definitions of what excessive interest rates mean.
I was going to say, I'm glad that was a problem in ancient times. So we don't deal with that.
Never.
Now.
Never.
Yeah, and what that means and looks like. But why don't we throw it over to you, Scott?
Okay.
So you read this text about usury, and Nehemiah is confronting that. What's your initial reaction here to this text?
I'm kind of looking at Nehemiah in this narrative to kind of see what he's thinking and feeling and doing. And he has a remarkable balance between mission and ministry.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes are focused on the mission of building this wall, but he's also balancing that with ministry to the folks that he's working with.
And taking care of the people.
And taking care of them. He's heard their outcry.
Yeah.
He's heard their suffering, and he's aware.
Yeah.
And so in the midst of this mission, there's this balance of ministry. He doesn't neglect them. He's not so
focused on the wall
that he's not going to address this other. And he takes energy, he takes effort, he takes time to go and talk and really rebuke those leaders, those Jewish leaders, to say what you're doing is wrong.
Right.
And so he's got this balance that I think is really beautiful of mission and ministry.
Yeah, it's a great example of leadership here, right? And taking care of his people. Yeah. Brian, what's your initial reaction?
Well, Nehemiah and Ezra,
right.
They're the guardrails for this reestablishment of the nation here, and they are not there to waste time, for sure. Either one of them, and certainly Nehemiah here he does not step down, as we talked about last week, to engage Sanballat and these other folks. He stays focused, but what does that actually mean? He's here to build a wall, but he ends up building a people. He ends up doing. What does it actually mean to build a wall? Because if you're just concerned about mortar and bricks or stones, you're going to just wall in everything that's evil, But you have to. He's discovering here it's more than just those stones. Building a wall means reestablishing a city, which means that it's got to be something that lasts, and he's after eternal kinds of things here. And so he says, you're not going to make money off of people. You're not going to treat each other that way. And there may have been some raised eyebrows there. Why isn't he staying in his lane? But he was staying in his lane. Again, he was building a people. It wasn't just a masonry project with him.
Right. And the masonry project was significant. It was a priority, but these people matter more.
Absolutely.
And these relationships matter more. And I like where you were going earlier. He didn't take much time on the naysayers, but he takes real time here.
Absolutely, he does.
Protecting and loving these people.
Yeah.
And saying we are going to deal with this matter.
If he's going to build a wall, he's going to teach people how to live with each other behind that wall. I mean, and that's what he's doing here.
Yeah, exactly right. Scott, as you read this, what question do you have out of this text?
Just, am I aware of the voices, the suffering, the ministry opportunities around me? Am I living in a way where I am living in obedience? I'm living on mission, but do I sense and see those opportunities when I need to engage, and am I living in that space where I can do that? And is there space in my life to do those kinds of things, to build up people, to live in relationship with other believers, with the body of Christ, with God's kingdom people?
Yeah. It's so easy, and I find this myself too, to get caught up in our to-do list and lose sight of the people that come into our lives or are part of
neighbors,
those things.
Our coworkers, our friends of our children.
Yeah. It's so easy to neglect the relationships when we're set on a task. Right. Yeah. Brian, what about for you? What question comes out of the text?
Nehemiah did not sacrifice any good for the sake of the dream of rebuilding Jerusalem. And so I would have to ask, for me, what am I sacrificing for the sake of a dream? And is that, am I sacrificing what is actually good, and leaving that, undone? Yeah,
and we miss out on good, and we miss out on deeper relationships, and this was a significant work that he was doing. And what you see in this, and maybe the miracle here is the leaders and the money lenders agreed and said, "You're right. Yeah. We are not going to." I mean, they fully repented. Right. I mean, he confronts them, and they listened.
Well, and again, the alternative was to have this resplendent project completed on the backs of people whose stories were not even told, and it would have been crushing.
Yeah,
and he was not interested in that whatsoever.
Yeah, and so there is, I mean, a wonderful resolution here, and those relationships were strengthened all across the board.
Yeah,
right, because he took the time for this to happen. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on Nehemiah 5 as well, if you'd comment below.